Okay, now we are on example 2. You can see this one is somehow different from example 1. We are going from simple towards the harder part. You understand? No, they are not hard. I should not scare you. It's very simple. They are all simple. I will explain them. I will break it down. Do you get that? So now, this is a simply supported beam, but we are having how many load? 1 and what? 2. They are giving us each distance. Look at them. This one from here to here is 2 meters. From here to here is 2 meters. From here to here is what? 2 meters. What is the total length now? The total length is nothing but what? 6. Do you get that? What is the first step you are going to do to solve this question? The first step is you draw your what? Free body diagram. So it's going to be like this. So you make your work be very neat in the exam. Make your ruler, draw it. Okay, so now we are having a hinge support here and a rolling support. What happened to a hinge support? A hinge support is having how many reaction? Is what? 2 reaction. The horizontal reaction and the vertical reaction. The rolling support is having a what? A vertical reaction. Do you get that? So now, it's like this. So this one is like this. You get that? So now we are having a vertical reaction, arrow A, and we are also having a vertical reaction, arrow B. Do you get that? And here we are having a horizontal reaction. You get that? And here is point A, point B. And how many forces is acting on the B? So this one is 8 kilonewton. This one is what? 10 kilonewton. You get that? So now, and the distance is what? 2 meter, and what? 2 meter. You get that? So now, after the free body diagram, now the next thing is we should sum the sum of upward force equals to what? The sum of what? Downward force. Before we do that, you have to give this, you have to take your coordinates. Maybe you will say your upward force should be what? Positive. And your downward force should be what? Negative. Do you get that? This is my coordinates. So it shows that how many upward forces I have? This is going upward. This one is what? Upward. So the sum of the two is what? Arrow A plus what? Arrow B. So the first step is sum of what? Sum of upward forces equals to sum of downward forces. So now we are having arrow A and arrow B as our what? Upward force. So it means arrow A plus what? Arrow B will be equals to what? Sum of downward forces. And our downward forces are what? 8 kilonewton and what? 10 kilonewton. So it means 8 plus 10. Do you get that? And 8 plus 10 is what? 18. So it means arrow A plus arrow B is equals to 18. Equation what? 1. The next step is you take your what? Moment. You take your what? Moment, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. But me, I always take my point at this point, what? A. So now, taking my moment along what point? A. It means moment. Let me write it up. Moment about A is equals to what? 0. So now I'll put my hand here. You will see how many force, and once you say moment about point A is equals to 0, it means the moment at this point is equals to what? 0. So now it means we'll be left with what? 1, 2, 3 forces. Now we are going to be left with these 3 forces. And don't forget our coordinate. Upward force is what? Positive. And downward force is what? Negative, right? So now we'll start with what? Arrow B, which is what? Upward. So, and it means our moment is what? Force times perpendicular what? Distance. So it means arrow B times the total distance. So RB times, what is the total distance? Is what? 6. Now let's now start with this now. This is a downward force, and if you look at this from this point to this point is what? 4. It shows that it covers a distance of what? 4 from this point to this point, considering what? This force. So, and don't forget it's a downward force, and our coordinate is what? Negative. So it shows that minus 10 times 4. You get that? So the next one is what? 8 kilonewton, right? And it covers a distance of what? 2 meters. You get that? So it means 8 times what? 2. But downward force is what? Negative. It's going to be what? Minus 8 times 2. Everything equals to what? 0. So this one will be 6 RB. This one will be minus 40. This one will be minus 16 equals to what? 0. So 6 RB minus 40 minus 60, that is minus 56 equals to what? 0. This will come back here. So 6 RB will be equals to 6 RB will be equals to 56. So RB will be equals to 56 over what? 6. You get that? So now and then RB will be equals to, if you use your calculator to divide that, you are going to get 9.3 kilonewton. Don't forget they are in what? Kilonewton. That's why it's also in what? Kilonewton. So now, can I get my ROA? Yes, I can get my ROA. So from equation 1, what is my equation 1? Equation 1 is ROA plus what? ROB is equals to what? Is equals to what? 18. So now, and my ROB is what? 9.3. So it means ROA plus 9.3 is equals to what? 18. So ROA is equals to 18 minus 9.3. So ROA is equals to, if you subtract this, you are going to have 8.67 kilonewton. So thank you. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share with your colleagues in various institutions doing engineering. Thank you.